Get busy living or get busy dying. That's goddamn right.
The fruits are edible and it tastes like raisins.
Yeah,
If I can translate the Afrikaans name straight away to English, it's a raisin bush. It really tastes like raisins when you eat. As they mentioned, there are quite a number of different species, so sometimes a bit difficult to identify, but one just needs to take care that, or note that there are different species.
You find them more to the north and not in the south.
That's quite interesting. You can see there is a nice flower with the pink and yellow on that thornium. That's called Dichrostachys. Dichrostachys. It was di means two, cro color, stachys thorn. So that's a two-colored thorn plant. So it's got those pink and some people call it Chinese lanterns.
It's actually called the common name is schikkelbush.
Schikkelbush?
I think an alternative, I don't think it's the only one, but one of the common Afrikaans names that I know is Kapwilddoorn.
Yeah.
So that's all
The interesting thing is those things that look like thorns aren't thorns, they are stems.
Yeah.
It doesn't have thorns, it has got stems. Because if you check at those thorns, you're going to notice that they're leafy. They've got leaves coming out of them. So those are leafy, they are just, spiky stems.
And with the Afrikaans name then, once again, if I can explain it a little bit more, is if you drive in the field with your car and these branches then is on the ground, and you drive over them, because it's if you botanically look at this, it's not a thorn but the stem, it's quite strong, and then it puncture the wheel.
That's why called Kapwilddoorn.
It can also be invasive. In other areas it's quite invasive. It forms such a thicket and it's very difficult to penetrate, and it really takes over. But here we don't have that problem yet. But I think it's reported in many areas to be invasive.
Actually, it's a very nice wood for charcoal. So in areas where it's actually invasive or has taken over, the people then start to make charcoal out of it.
You see, the pods there, animals love them, especially the cattle. Even they're very, I think, delicious.
Yes, and because of the nice sort of umbrella type of thing, they're nice to hang, so they're used as Christmas decorations as well. In many homes, at least in Namibia. So
it's a legume.
They're matured.
Flowering. Good copy.
This is good copy.
So this is okay. No, this is called Dipkadi glaucum. Dipkadi glaucum. Glaucum simply means it's got this blue-green leaves. So glaucous leaves. Dipkadi is very common on the road veggies, especially on disturbed areas. It's a lily. You can see now it's got these wonderful flowers and flowers in three parts. One thing, this is very, very poisonous, especially to stock. So normally you notice it's green and nobody's eating. The animals have learned their lesson. They don't. So this is one of the most common lilies that you'll see around. And this, I think you've already noticed, it's all over the place now.
This one here,
Tribulus.
Yeah, they're all over. What's the name?
Tribulus terrestris.
Devil's thorn.
Devil's thorn. And tribulus. It's also poisonous to stock again.
I wanted to say about the yellow flowers. It's the devil thorn, of the Afrikaans is Divilkie. I'm not too sure, I haven't looked on the board, but there's actually the bigger flower.
The hairy.
That's a different species than the smaller flower.
Yeah.
So
The smaller flower is terrestris. The bigger flower is called hairy.
Yeah.
So there are two species that they occur together.
yeah. I think that I've noticed even a little bit on the outskirts of Windhoek, especially on the bit bigger flowers, is sometimes they turn orange. I'm not too sure, maybe one of them can explain that, but it's quite interesting that in a huge patch there's
some flowers that are orange.
Yeah, it's mostly yellow, but then here and there's a small patch that is orange. I don't know if there's any.
I've not checked that, but I know in the lilies sometimes the that fusion in the color of something or some tint of another color has to do with the edge of the flowers. You know, because some flowers as they age, the color changes a little bit as they, grow. As they,
Another thing could be that it's a mechanic or mechanism to attract, to draw in pollinators by making a deeper color. So it lures in the pollinator in that way. So it could be.
The difference between the bigger flowers than the smaller flowers is if you look at the fruit of this. The bigger flowers makes more like a compact fruit, while the smaller flower, the smaller species, got more like a spiky fruit. So that's also one difference, that if the flower is not there, then you can see the difference in species. I'm not too sure, but I understand it might be just common amongst the people if this is actually the national flower, not necessarily the national plant, but the national flower. And because it occurs basically all over, from the south even up to the north. So I'm not sure if that is correct, but let's say keep it up with
Really, you would find
it. It's quite okay. This one you will see in this is the Emania modesta, the modest, the Emania. What is the common name? Emania modesta. So you can see the flowers are kind of bowing like that. So they're kind of a modest. It's quite one of the most beautiful thing. Okay, you can check this. You can be checking.
What is this?
Excellent.
It's Montinia.
Montinia. This is Montinia. Yeah. You can check on the Montinia. What's the species name? It's actually Montinia. So here you can see lots of things actually flowering in one place. At one place, this is like a tea. This is Osimum.
Yes, that's a tea bush. Our ancestors.
Maybe you can come and smell it. It's quite. It's got
yes, that's actually nice
to smell.
Yes.
It's got this wonderful smell. Yeah. You can
take some.
Take some and cook it. There are actually two species
you can
here.
Pass it around.
You can crush the leaf. And
you wouldn't even need to crush the leaf. It's just gonna give you a good greeting already. Very aromatic.
Very aromatic. So it's actually in the family Lamias, or the mint family. The mint family has got this.
You can probably see the leaves as well. Resembling.
Sure. Cut.
Oh, das kommt von Nase. Vielleicht solltest du dir hier auch irgendwie Schatten verschaffen. Wo ist das für gestern?
It's okay. It is this one. Okay. Interesting. How
this you also find
blended
almost everywhere.